Well, I'm just going to have to record. Yeah. So you got to... Hello, everyone. Got my cat down here. Yep, hello. Welcome to the Battling Barrow. Yeah, my cat is down here. So if you hear purring and a little cat face, see a little cat face in the corner, I apologise, but... fur beasts, they go where they want. Yep, welcome to the Battling Barrow. In today's video, we are going to take a look at Fantasy Skirmish for Savage Worlds by Arion Games. Just for the record, before we get going, I was sent this on PDF and physical for free. So make of that what you will. I'm generally trying to be honest with these things, even if someone sends me something. If I don't like something, I'm going to say I don't like something. But yeah, so I thought today we'd have a look at this. Now, one thing I did notice is, I have not heard of Savage Worlds before, and what it requires, what it says on the back here, it requires the Savage Worlds RPG core rulebook. So before we get going and finding out what this is, what's inside, what it's about kind of thing, and the quality of the product, I want to just quickly have a quick look into what the Savage Worlds RPG is. So Savage Worlds is a role-playing game written by Shane Lacey Hensley and was published by Pinnacle Entertainment Group originally in 2003. And back then when it came out, it won some awards such as the Origin Gamers Choice Award for Best Role-Playing Game. So to begin with, you'd probably need to buy this, the Savage Worlds core rules. This is in dollars at the moment, dollary doodahs. At the start, yes, there's PDF, or you can buy a hardback book. Character creation is a point allocation system, which is different to what we're probably used to, and the characters in the game comprise of statistics, including things like race, traits, edges, hindrances, and sometimes powers. So there's some different terminology which I'll cover when we get to the book. I'm sort of looking into this. There's a Pirates of the Spanish Main setting, which I really wish I looked up before I started playing my game, my D&D game. I'm going to sort of leave this on when I talk about it, and you see what's available here. So you have a race, you have a trait, which is attributes and skills, and you have edges and hindrances and powers, as already mentioned. And there are some terminology which I'll cover a bit, such as wildcards, which is effectively characters and non-playing characters. Bennings, which is benefits, and you have an initiative order. I think it stems from back in, I think it was 1997, Pinnacle published Deadlands, The Great Rail Wars, which is a miniature game in a Weird West setting, and it sort of stemmed from there. So as you can see, it's a sort of really well supported game as well, with lots of bits and pieces. Okay, so yeah, that sounds quite good. Now, so this is built on top of the core Savage Worlds RPG, sort of using the rules from that and adding an element of larger warfare, which I think is a fantastic idea, and I kind of wish more RPGs and would have that. Play your one character tabletop game like that, and then sometimes big warfare breaks out. I mean, Beckme had the War Machine, which is very numerical and math based, but I'd rather play it more as a larger tabletop game. Maybe have a set, you get to your RPG session, and then suddenly war's going to break out. Next session, boom, we're playing this. We're having a proper bigger war game skirmish. I really like the look of that. So really like the sound of it. So I like the look of it as well. So speaking of looking, let's put this down onto the tabletop and just see what's what. So first up, let's have a look at the actual book itself. This is the paperback version. There is a hardback version. I was offered to be sent to have a look at, but I thought that was just too much. I get to keep this, and I thought that was too much. I'm only a small channel, so I thought I just didn't want to, feel like I'm making him lose money, so I just went for the paperback version, and I tend to prefer paperback versions for certain things. depends what sort they are, and this sort of thing just sort of, I prefer this in paperback version. I don't know why. Skirmish books in paperback, RPG books in hardback. Weird, I know. But here we are. It's a lovely full colour image. It has that sort of Savage Worlds licensed product, and the colours from the logo and the spine sort of match that. And we go over here. It details what it is in the back. Fast Furious battles. Yeah, so it mentions you do need the aforementioned rulebook. Inside is, at the back, we got the some sheets for you to get the PDF. You can probably just print these out, or you can scan these in like we did in the old days, and some quick and easy table lookups there. We also have the Kickstarter backers and the back here. That's in Appendix 2. It is full colour throughout as well, I should point out, with some lovely miniatures set up on the tabletop. And I sure recognise that bell mount. I might have that one myself. Yeah, full colour, even sort of the headings here. I don't know if it's coming out on camera. It's not actually black, it's like a nice blue, which is good for my eyes. So yeah, we got a full colour all out here. I don't want to show you every page, because otherwise it's like me giving it away free, which I don't want to do, because there is a staggering amount of work that's gone into here. So yeah, it's really nice quality, feels sturdy. It's like, sort of like that almost, if you know what drive-through RPG print on demands are like, you'll know what the quality this is. I'm always a big fan of them. I have loads of them. So inside, if we go, and what we'll do now is we'll start doing a bit of a review. And I always find this really tough to do reviews of books like this nature, because we want to go over the rules, but I don't want to give all the rules away, because again, you really need to be buying products like this. So I will sort of take you through my journey. So we have the introduction here. Unlike a lot of other games that will force you to use their miniatures, being Arion games aren't Arion games aren't a miniatures game company such as Games Workshop, so you're not tied into any miniatures. So it gives you some suggestive miniatures that you'll see in the pictures throughout the book. So if you like the look of them, you can go to these websites here and buy the miniatures from there. Love that. I wish more companies I'd like a decoupling. That was a word, decoupling, from miniature to rules companies. I got a bit tired of Games Workshop's stuff in the past. I used to like it back in the 80s when you had Citadel Miniatures and Games Workshop and White Dwarf, and they're all slightly separate, one perhaps parent company as it were, but all slightly separate. I'm going off on a tangent, but that's just what I like. So I like seeing this. This has got a nice feel to it already. And if you start reading this and you've never looked at the Savage Worlds RPG, which, as I said, I've looked into it now, I might be going a bit deeper this year with it, mainly so I can actually play this. I actually really fancy playing this. The terminology got me straight away. Wild cards, what the Sam Hill, and there's sort of things in here called bennies, and yeah. So if you know Savage Worlds, this is all going to be really familiar to you. In fact, it's going to be, if you play Savage Worlds RPG, this is going to be a doddle for you to pick up. So yeah, wild cards earn an extra Benny for their force. So what wild cards are? They're effectively characters, if you like. The major characters, it says here, major characters and enemies. Bennies, benefits, kind of thing, and things like that. So it's just the terminology used for the game, which is cool. Unique terminology is great. It sort of mentions about base sizes here, but it's not critical. So it just goes over something like that, so just to get you up to date with things at the Force. We're also going to need some cards, some playing cards are recommended. It says about using standard playing cards, but those little ones you get, and it talks about maybe taking up size on the battlefield, but those little ones you get in Christmas crackers. I don't have any at hand, which is, I think I've got some somewhere in the house. Those little tiny ones, you can use those. Or don't know, I might look into it in the future as I go on with this. I might make some for you to download or something. So as discussed in chapter 2, each character receives bennies at the start of the battle. So next up, it goes over battle setup. Again, I don't want to go over too much. I don't want to show you everything too much because you know, otherwise you're not going to be buying the book. I don't even want to show you every page because you can pause and then just get the rules off the page. So I'm going to show you some what I want to cover. It's laid out in a really nice way, in a really nice logical way. So yeah, what type of battles we're going to be playing, the forces, you know, sizes here, your point costs. It will then talk about the battlefield here, talking about terrain layout and nice things, unless there is a scenario, set scenario where it tells you what to do. If it doesn't, it shows you how to do that. Deployment, which is good, and then your sheets here. Boom, we are now, you're done, you're ready to play, but you're going to need some to know some skills. Many of the skill sheets in Savage Worlds are irrelevant when it comes to the battle situation. I can imagine that being an RPG, those skills are going to be tailored for that scenario, whereas in a skirmish game it's not so important. The skills you're going to want to use in skirmish are going to be very much combat orientated skills. So the final skills are those that are used for fancy battles and available for purchase. So this is the skills that we're going to be using here. You got hindrances as well, which I kind of like the sound of. I love that. So well, it's me, isn't it? Lazy. There we go. Got one. Edges. So yeah, if you know, again, I love this. Going to be me sort of saying, if you know the Savage Worlds RPG, you're going to be fully aware of what these are. And then we've got some action. So you deal cards. An action card should be dealt for every unit or wildcard mod in place on the table next to the recipient, as we can see here on this picture here. So units and wildcards will act in the usual Savage Worlds order, with jokers able to act at any time. I kind of really like this. This is a nice little random bit of way of doing it as well, these joke cards. So that is cool. Really like that. Morale, always my favourite thing. I love that from Beckme, and here it is showing its appearance here. And we go over basic actions here, such as movement, a unit, you know, unit versus unit versus wildcard versus wildcard. You know, when it has nice illustrative pictures going over it. So that's the first 4 chapters. It looks like a nice thick book, and you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, do I have time for that? But this is another plus for this book. Cavalry. So we're going over the rules of the cavalry here. Man, just seeing these pictures here is really inspiring. Makes me want to get a game of this in. So hopefully one day this year, maybe. And yes, then we go over things like cover. Always good to know in a skirmish game what counts as cover, what doesn't, how to react to cover. Excellent sort of, oh, ganging up, that sounds good. Some magic, intimidation, taunts. Wildcard, but not unit, can attempt to intimidate or taunt an enemy wildcard or unit. The tests, this is great. So your mother was an elderberry or something from Monty Python. That's what I'd be doing. Brilliant. You get poisoned. So it's got all these. It's a skirmish game, as you can see, but it's putting in the elements from an RPG game. And that is, whoa, that is great. That's got me thinking about all sort of games could do that. If there's an RPG, this would be a skirmish game available, sort of based on it. And if there's a skirmish game, we should have an RPG based on it. More people should do stuff like this. This is so good, so good. So yeah, even stealthing, love that. So those your RPG, you got a bit of a wizardy, roguey type character. It's going to carry across. Speaking about wizard, we have magic here, so you can even got magic. Again, likewise, some spells are going to be not used in the context of skirmish, so these are just outlining that. Not that your character probably isn't able to use them, you know, it's just like they're pointless. What are you going to do with these spells in a combat situation? So it's cool. And then it goes over the spells in a sort of skirmish context. Campaigns, one thing about war games and skirmish games and even RPG games is that campaign, that set of linked games and how to deal with that. So in the 6-player campaign, battle 1, dwarves and undead. Attempts to humans versus undead. Yeah, so I kind of really like that. It's good. So it's doing a nice campaign. You're getting the story, and it's covering that. And one thing I should point out now, I can do this on this page here, so it's got a lot of it. Is I always like it in books where you get the rules, but you get that really clear example. Sometimes that was a thing that used to happen in the 80s, just especially with the Beckme. I'm going to refer to Beckme a lot. The red box used to have those examples in, and the Mulvey set had classic examples in of example play. So I like that here. It's really clear. You've got a rule in your head, and sometimes you're like, does that work like that? And you read through it, and it goes, yeah, I've got it. So when I learned how to play Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4E, I got it more from the examples than the rules explanation itself. So really good to see a heavy use of this. I like that. Of course, we got how to set up, we've got the battle itself, the rules, magic, but how do you create your units? And so that is next. So here we are. We have some unit rules here. Where did I see? A lot of it's quite straightforward. It's create a unit. Oh god, some name consistent following slots. Yeah, I think there was. Well, I can't remember where I saw it, but it's sort of rules where it's like, is it further back here? Does it give you a quick special abilities? Is it in the introduction? Where have I read this? It must be around here somewhere. Yeah, it's got it here. So a 2.1 may have a maximum of 2 signature units, 2 cheap units, 2 hero units, 2 wild cards. So it gives you, right at the beginning, it's giving you an idea of the unit creation rules back there. That's where I sort of read it. But here we're going to go over unit creation, war machines and things like that. And then we have army lists creation here. So again, you can see with this red tech really making it clear of what is what. And so that is effectively your rules on this book. So that's not a lot to learn. That is only 54 pages, if that, because introduction doesn't really count. So let's say 50 pages rules. That is nothing to get a good skirmish game. Okay, you need to know Savage Worlds RPG, but if you know that, you should definitely be playing this. And next, it's just the army list. So here, you're going to get your sheet here. Over it here, a dwarf army list. Different ones. So I love this about this. So it's like X-Men. Here's a list here. And because it's more RPG, it's not just basic stats. It's a bit more in depth, which is cool. Dwarf Clansman, and again the pictures are. We should have a look at some close-up pictures, and I won't go through all the lists, or shall I quickly? So you've got dwarfs. I'll go. Let's see how much is in here. Elf list. So rangers, guards, scouts, swordsmen, warhounds, elven war bowmen, eagle knights, war trees. Yeah, got some big guys. Load. Greenskins, as you'd expect. Some orcs. Go through. Goblins. Halflings. Everyone forgets about the halflings. This book doesn't. That's great. There's something very nostalgic about the way these have been based. It's sort of flocking on the basing. It's just something that gives me the warm fuzzies inside. Goat riders. Oh yes, halfling goat riders. And as you can see when I'm showing you the pictures, when you look at them, that list at the beginning tells you what they actually are. So you can go back to the beginning, have a look at that website and pick them up if you like the models. Human army list. Yeah, which is cool. Lots of different humans, as one would expect. And to flip past it, and then we got one of our favourites, the undead army list. like so. Sorry. Yeah, so that is what is sort of inside. I'm just going to go over some of the rules that I like about it now. So we're not going to cover every single rule, because as I said, if I do that, you know, I feel like I'm giving something away for free that I shouldn't. I'm just going to go over some bits and pieces that I kind of like. Right, let's go for battle setup. One, I like playing scenarios. This comes from Middle Earth SBG. I just love narrative based stuff. One-off, I'm not really into that, but I love the fact you know everything should just have that basic you versus me concept, and you know, just opposed battles and campaign. I love campaigns. I love linking narrative scenarios to form campaigns, so this has got that covered. Sometimes when it comes to games, I always find it a bit tiresome. It's like, shall we play 447.2 point battles kind of thing? It's like, oh, can't we just have... I always would like to see these sort of games standardised, and guess what? This does this. So you say we're going to play a tiny battle, that's just 500 points, or we'll play a large one, which is 2,000 points per side. I really like that concept. Just 4 different categories, that's what we're playing. I love that. So another thing I really like is, and I guess this is a holdover from the fact it's an RPG, are skills and hindrances. Sometimes your profiles in games can get a bit boring, they're a bit static, they're just, I am a swordsman, this is what I got. Well, why not give things, you know, I'm a swordsman, that's, you know, can taunt people, I'm a swordsman with bloodlust, I'm a swordsman with, you know, you got a round of lazy ones. I kind of like that, and that's really cool. Kind of really do enjoy that aspect of the game. Again, this is probably a holdover from the Savage Worlds RPG, is the sort of the dealing cards for the action cards. That's interesting. So just keeping everyone on their toes, a bit of randomness, but then there is stuff in here that will negate the randomness due to I'm an actor, where is it? Wildcards, the same way I get 2 or something. Wildcards. You just have a joke attack at the same time. Rather than that, due to I've lost it. I had it just before I started speaking. There it is. If more than one wildcard has tactician, lowest tactician, yeah. So there's things where you're going to get additional cards, and hopefully you can see that there in the picture. So that is another concept I really like. I genuinely like this. I want to see if this is something you want to see more of on the channel. Let me know. I don't mind maybe getting the game on this. Maybe finding someone who around near me who knows how to play it, and I can invite him into the Battling Barrow, and we can have a learning game. So yeah, let's give you my thoughts about this now. It's a really interesting concept. I had this crazy idea to do like a multi-platform campaign, probably starting with the Warhammer, but you know, this could be an interesting one to do it on. And what do I mean by that? So I was going to use Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay to do the core role-playing element. Then maybe if we went into a dungeon crawl, I'd drop into Warhammer Quest. And then if we went to a larger battle, I'd go into Mordheim. So you can see how this could work out. And if things got really big, you then drop into Warhammer Fantasy Battles. If you needed to do Nautical, we've got Dreadfleet. So a multi-player system campaign really interests me, and this could be something to look into. You're playing Savage Worlds, there's all different settings for it. As I've been looking into it more, it sounds like a really interesting game. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you've played Savage Worlds, let me know in the comments what it actually plays like. And my cat is now really purring into the mic. If you have played Savage Worlds and you're interested in sort of skirmish games in it, take a look into this and let me know if you're interested in it. Let me know if you've already got it and what do you think of it. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear all your opinions. If you'd play Savage Worlds RPG and you think this video might be of interest to anyone you play with to go into skirmish games, share this video and point them towards Arion Games website. and, you know, let them know this is a thing. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, stay safe, take care, and bye bye.